It looks like we got some pages with a punchline. Here's your look at the NECA Toys Toony Comics, The Joker. Based on his appearance in the classic comics, the Joker joins the Toony Classics line, a fun take on beloved characters from film, TV, and pop culture. He stands approximately 6 inches tall and includes a removable hat, playing card, and squirt effect that can attach to a flower on his lapel, blister card packaging with bonus cutout backdrop. Well, it seems the clown's punchlines are finally making it to press. Just before, of course, we get a closer look at the NECA Toony Comics, The Joker, the tape measure first is going to tell us that he stands at 5 inches in height, or is going to be 12.5 centimeters tall. Everybody loves a clown, so why don't you? NECA apparently does have a love when it comes to Toony clowns, having done a whole bunch of them already. I'm going to bring in at least one of them right now. Here's the Toony Terrors Tim Curry Pennywise. Somewhat though also ironic I'm bringing in Tim Curry. At one point, he was the voice of the original Joker from the Batman animated series. Tim Curry, though, unfortunately had to step out. Mark Hamill stepped in. Joker was always, as well, the foil for Batman. And even though we don't have a Toony Comics version of the Batman, which is kind of a bit disappointing, we only seem to have a Superman right now. Speaking, though, of actors that also played the Cape Crusader, here's what the figure looks like with Michael Keaton, or more specifically, the Toony Terrors Beetlejuice. I hate to really start this review already on a sad note, but something, though, did break on my Joker. The squirt effect that's supposed to attach onto his flower lapel snapped on me when I was actually trying to fit inside the hole. I'll show you the state and condition it is in right now. It's a long piece. It actually kind of looks like the puke effect that came included with the Toony Terrors Reagan. Oh, that's kind of gross. But it looks very similar. It's just a little bit smaller. This was actually one piece, and when I was trying to force this inside the hole, and really forcing isn't the word I want to use to describe it, I was careful, at least as careful as I thought I was being, till eventually, though, when I was putting it in, it snapped the end piece right off. I suppose I probably could glue this. The only thing about this, though, is I don't know if it's going to fix the problem permanently, because I think that if I do it again, it's probably going to end up snapping the plastic off, because now the plastic has a brittle point to it. What I ended up doing, though, was I took myself a screwdriver. And what I did, though, I also took the figure and I just doweled it just a little bit more. Think of this as a cautionary tale. You could do this yourself. You could also either heat this also in hot water, or you could also take a few passes with the hairdryer just to soften up that plastic just a little bit. Anyways, though, what I could do, at least for a stand-in, is that I can take the piece that I've got left behind. The lapel squirt effect still fits in there. Although with as long as it is right now, I think the Joker's going to have to worry about a little bit of splashback. Still attaches in there. Just again, I really wish that didn't break, but I did want to be at least fully transparent, show you guys at least that something unfortunately did break on my figure. Nothing else, knock on wood at least, nothing else has broken on him. The figure comes also included with a Joker card. I was actually kind of surprised to see that this wasn't made of cardboard. It's made instead of plastic. It does fit into his hand. It only, though, fits on this hand. It doesn't fit on the other one. This hand is more dedicated to holding the side of his lapel. I suppose as well, you could also have the arm up like this, so it looks like Joker saying, "Hey, man, hit the bricks." That's something that old people say. But what you can do, though, is that you can take the playing card and you can fit it in between his thumb and his finger, and he actually holds it pretty good. Just like that. So Joker can present his card. It's my business card, everybody. Here. Yeah, did you already get one? Look at the font on that card. What you can also do, too, is the character comes included with a hat. Now, I had struggles getting the hat on his head. It isn't one of those instances, folks, where the hat, first of all, is a very soft plastic. It's just as hard, I feel, as the rest of the figure. And when you're also putting it on his head, you may want to feel the urge to kind of put pressure down on his head. And I don't think it really fixes the problem. If anything, it's going to create one other problem. First of all, it doesn't sit perfectly on his head to the point where you can tip the figure over. It's one of those cases, if you cough the wrong way, you're only just going to knock the hat off. You basically just put it on his head and then you walk back and just hope that nothing bangs the shelf. Because the moment it bangs it, the hat's going to fall right off. One other problem I also seem to face, too, is because the way you have to force it on top of his head, I end up rubbing just a little bit of paint. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's a little wear mark right there. Luckily, it hasn't developed any worse of effect. But again, like if you're putting on his head, I don't think there's a right way or a wrong way. There's not like there's a front or a back. I mean, there are kind of like textured indicators here that are supposed to, I guess, show you where it's supposed to go. But if anything, you just sort of want to sit it on his head and walk away. Oh, somebody's got a Kleenex. Don't sneeze. Thank you. No, leave the room. Okay, sneeze outside. So we're going to go ahead and leave that off. I suppose what you could also do as well is use this same hand that we were talking about earlier for his playing card. Actually can take the hat. And hey, how about that? You can actually fit the hat in his hand too. And you're already thinking to yourself, well, hey buddy, what are you going to do with the card? First of all, don't call me buddy. Second of all, though, if you want to take the card, obviously it won't fit in this hand. I mean, it would have been really ideal if they had just put a slit, just made a separation in between this finger and the thumb. So if you wanted to, you could take the card and put it in his hand on this side too. But what you could do, at least for me at least, is I can take the card and fit it inside his hat. Hey, how about that? Just realized I rhymed as well. So that's one way of displaying as well the figure. Removing all those accessories and the hardships that went along with them, getting a closer look at the Joker, I really like the look of this guy. And while obviously a little bit disappointed that we haven't yet got the Cape Crusader, I hope that that's a release we're going to be getting at a later date. So far, right now, I think it's Joker and it's also Superman. Kind of a weird pairing that they didn't do a Batman and a Joker. But right now, at least we got ourselves a Joker. And, you know, again, like, it looks really good. It's supposed to be the way he's depicted from the comics. Like the early days, the Silver Age comics. I feel, if anything, it looks a lot like the Joker from, like, the cartoon. I'm thinking like the days of Scooby-Doo and all those earlier cameos. Very large chin, as you can see, very high cheekbones, very bright hair also as well. He's one of those figures that look really good from all the sides. Little knobby nose, he's got these huge, big smile on his face. He also seems to have green eyes. Am I the only one that notices green eyes? Very nice looking high eyebrows, matching, of course, the coloring of his hair. He's Joker, classic Joker from head to toe. Of course, he does have, of course, all the clothing that goes with a classic-looking Joker. A tailed jacket on the back. Of course, he does have the long pants that match that as well. I guess they're not so much long, but it matches at least the coloring of the purple. And he also has, as well, the mustard-colored vest and the green tie underneath. Yes, I'm a little disappointed that the lapel had to break. I mean, it's one of those things, too, as well. You don't even have to attach the splash effect. The squirting effect, just leave it off altogether if you want to. It still looks like Joker's doing something. Now, for the figure's articulation, being that he is kind of within that territory, that terrain of Toony Terrors, he sort of hits those limited levels of articulation. Surprisingly, though, he does still manage to pull off a ball joint, so I'm happy to see at least that. The head can move back and forth, the head can look up, the head can look down. You can also rock it back and forth as well. Arms do rotate. Yes, they do, all the way around. This hand swivels back and forth, and why I put an exclamation mark to that. This arm rotates back and forth, so again, if you want to have him hit the bricks, you move the arm back this way as well. That looks a little silly. This hand does not seem to want to rotate. If it does, it's probably this. It's going to need. There we go. There we go. It does rotate. Not that it necessarily fixes anything. I suppose if anything, kind of looks like Joker's blowing, like he's just painted his nails, blowing off his nails. Or again, like he's also saying, hit the bricks. Why do we keep saying hitting the bricks? It's one thing that old people used to say a whole lot. Actually, I've even said that a lot myself. Now, there's no articulation here for the waist. The legs and the waist are married together. There's no way you can separate the two. You can, however, though, because he's got a bulge joint in his ankles, move the ankles forward and back and up and down. Because the way he's pre-posed like this means that you always have to have the figure with feet flat like this. You can move him somewhat side to the side here, but it does sort of throw off his balance. I honestly really feel like when it comes to Toony Terrors like this, or in this case, Toony Comics, I think if you're going to have a character like this that's pre-posed, that has to have his feet a certain way, why not just mold the feet like that? Don't give us the tease that there's supposed to be ball joints in there when we all know, you know, I know, the Joker even knows, there's no really way to move the feet because it's only just going to affect the way he stands on the shelf. As of certainly standing on the shelf, while again, unfortunately, the little squirt effect did break for me. And again, everybody, caution, please, when you get in this figure for yourself. At least what I can also do for at least right now, until I eventually fix the squirt effect, is I can actually take the playing card, put it inside his hat, then take the hat, put it in the grip of the Joker, and that's a nice looking figure that's going to go on the shelf. If you happen to be hiding a few dollars up your sleeve and you want to spend it on the Toony Comics version of the Joker, you'll be happy to know that the Clown Prince of Crime right now is either available in stores or online. Generally, most of the online sites ask about that same price as what Toony Terrors generally go for, at around $18, which isn't all that bad when you get a stylized Joker that has, to be fair, some limited levels of articulation, but it goes sort of with the territory of what Toony Terrors generally are in the first place. This character does come included with a couple of accessories. One of the three accessories, unfortunately for this guy, happened to have broken. Now, I could have easily just hid it. I could have just lied to you all and just said that it never had any broken things on it. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. And I'll let you guys know that if you're looking to get this guy for yourself, just though be careful that the splash piece that goes into the lapel, don't put too much pressure because you may end up snapping the plastic. Then you'll say, this guy told me I could. I never told you you could. I said you got to be careful. Don't blame the guy that's behind the camera. He has a top hat or a hat that goes on his head. It's not one of those easiest hats either. Softer plastic probably would have worked a little bit better. Harder plastic means you sort of just have to rest it on Joker's head and walk away. He also has, of course, a playing card, and either one of those or both of those collectively could be held at least in one of his hands. Some limited levels, again, of posability, but, again, if you are one that likes to collect Toony tears, I love collecting Toony tears. It sort of goes, again, with the territory of those. Again, if you guys are interested, this guy's available right now. Let me know down below in the comments section if you guys have already picked up the Toony Comics version of the Joker, and you certainly hope as well that NECA is going to be releasing more of them. At the time of doing this review, at the time of you guys watching this review, I think the only two that we have right now is Superman and the Joker. I still want to get my hands on Superman, but I'm holding out hopes that we're going to be getting the Cape Crusader. If you guys did enjoy this video, do it a solid. Throw it a like. You guys want to stick around for more so? I hope so. I hope so. Hit that subscribe, turn on that bell, and as always, come back. As always, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.